At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
Observations TFR 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday.
There we are. There we are. It is Monday morning. It is Monday morning, and we are on. It is hashtag observations TFR. We broadcasting lively on, trying to clip us already this morning, broadcasting lively on YouTube, video, and you found the spot on FB. Listen, people, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye, so long, sayonara, to Periscope. That's right, Periscope has been officially locked by Twitter. That's right, officially blocked by Twitter. So that is one that we are no longer simulcasting on. So, first of all, let's say
we're getting a real bad transformer
we're
sound.
getting click. I know. I'm trying to fix it. We want to say what's up to Stuart. We are on planet Earth. Good morning. Good morning to Tracy Trace. Trying to figure out what's happening. Trying to straighten this out because they are clipping us this morning, but it is okay. It is okay. It is okay. We are moving along, right? We are moving along. It's getting a little bit better. First, before we continue, we always have to say good morning to my special guest host, Tonya M. Congress. Good morning to you. How are you feeling this morning?
Good morning, Dee. Good morning, listening audience. Glad to be with you all this morning. So what happened? I was up and down. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to get up at 8 o'clock, whether I wanted to get up at 10 o'clock, and I decided to get up at 11:15. So consequently, everything is running behind schedule today. So I have me a bowl of ginger, sliced ginger, and I have coffee this morning. I didn't have time to break down my grapefruit this morning, and I do have a cup of water over here as well. But I'm doing okay. It's partly sunny outside in Cleveland, Ohio this morning. I think it's about 36 degrees or something like that. No snow other than the snow that was here about a week and a half ago when it last snowed. You still got some of that here. But everything is going okay. You know, yesterday I was having a moment thinking about all the things that's going on in the world simultaneously. And I'm just, it's not so much so that I am in a funk about it. It's the observation of the people who are unaware. To be in a position where you're tasked with making people aware, at least making information available so that the people can feast on it and become aware, in hopes that they would take the information that we give and then go delve a little bit deeper into things. To have people just completely ignore it, and they're the ones that stand to lose. They're the sitting ducks. But people ignore it with arrogance. If you guys can kind of fathom what I mean, like, okay, well, who are they? Where they get their information from? But you will turn on the regular news. You'll turn on the regular news, and anybody that's on there, you'll repeat what they said. Well, the doctor said, well, Fauci said this, and the CDC said this, and the World Health Organization said this. Those are the experts. Okay, you've been programmed. And you don't have you still in the program, so we know to leave you alone. But it's just bad because it's the majority. So for you guys that listen to us faithfully on a regular basis and other shows like this one, kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Kudos to you. That's right. Smash the share button. Smash the like button, because we are going places this morning. Don't let the clip outs affect you any. It doesn't affect us. That's them just trying to keep us from telling our story, telling the story of what needs to be told. Let me do some white balance. 213-943-3358. 213-943-3358. The phone lines are open in the next hour to take calls. If you're interested in being on and not just listening, press on the touch tone 1 and we will know that you want to come on as I do some last minute blast outs here, letting people know. Make sure you let people know. Tag at least 5 people in this broadcast. For those who are just coming on, who have never seen hashtag observations TFR, we disseminate information that one day just might save your life. So make sure that you tag some people so that they know that we're on, as I do some last minute tagging here myself, letting the people know that we are on. Go ahead.
And while Dee is doing that, I want to remind you of you see that nice, the spot t-shirt that he has on that lines perfectly up with the other, the spot stuff across the screen there. And then mine, here's mine. I have mine on as well, right? You can get those on our merch store. Those links are available on the you found the spot page, and here's our mug. This is also available. This is very heavy, nice cold beverage mug. And then of course we have we have another colored t-shirt too. We have the green t-shirt, and then we have the matching masks to go with that. See, stylish. Nice pair of black and white tennis shoes, or white and black tennis shoes. And this almost demands with the green shirt that you get some green and white tennis shoes as well.
That's right. You can get you some Chucks. You can get you some Chucks, because Chucks are the rage now. You can get you some green with the white Chucks, or get you some black with the white Chucks, and then you sport the spot. Okay, let's get to it. Miscellaneous Mondays, Plantation Politics, Observations, episode 83. Topic: let's discuss what's happening from the weekend. Hank Aaron died. Ain't nobody going to say nothing about the obvious. Biden bans dark-skinned countries, but not China. Now, isn't that truly xenophobia? Oh, they're clipping us. Where's the NAACP? Oh, they're preparing to give Dr. Fauci an award. An award for what? Are some American blacks really ready to go back to plantations? The phone lines are open. 213-943-3358. Feel free to type your comments in on the board on FB, and we will read them, or on the live stream on the Film Review Life channel, right? So let's go through this. You know how we start. We start with the memes to warm things up. Now, yesterday, if you were looking for a particular show of ours, right? If you're looking for a particular show of ours, that was episode 144, YouTube has blocked that show. And we were talking about the movie 76 Days. And we're going to be discussing that again because they blocked our broadcast, saying it had to do with copyright violation, right? But that's not what it's about. It's censorship, and we will get to that in a minute. Let's start with this. Oh, they're trying to clip us early. They were trying to clip us when we first opened with the Martin Luther King. Smash the share button, smash the like button. Stay with us because we are disseminating information, and we bring it in such an entertaining way. Okay. What's been happening? What happened over the weekend? Okay, over the weekend, just on Friday, a couple of days ago, you know this guy, Breonna Taylor. What's it say? You know this guy. Let me move it over so you can see his face. Yes, you know this guy. Kentucky AG Daniel Cameron, right? The Breonna Taylor grand jury felt like they were duped by the information that he presented because it was not full information. They didn't get the full information until they started watching the news, right? Breonna Taylor grand jurors filed petition to impeach Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, AG Daniel Cameron. They want to impeach him because his phraseology was short indeed. Now we talked about his phraseology in nauseam on 14 counts of willful endangerment, episode 23 of Observations, right? You can hear it right now on Google Podcasts right after the show. Find episode 23, 4-teen, T-E-E-N, counts of wanton endangerment, right? And we went and we played the AG's words as he was saying why the grand jury came back with only indicting one police officer. And we talked about his flawed phraseology and how his phraseology really was wanting for this. This is part of plantation politics, people. In our opinion, in our observation, they always have people put into place that are a detriment to the advancement of American black people. They're put into different positions. They're put into mostly attorney general positions, and they are black. We have learned how to crack that code so long ago. At least I learned how to crack that code so long ago. It started when Jesse Jackson got a woman pregnant outside of his marriage. And I said, nah, we can't keep on thinking that everything that one black person does, that another black person should be blamed for it, right? No. Sorry. We're not a monolith. All right, let's move on. Okay. This person writes this, and he says, if the hood so poor, why are Asians, Arabs, Jewish, and Latinos opening their businesses there? We can't control nothing in our community if we don't own anything in it. Don't complain about nothing you aren't willing to change. Start your LLC. Do you have your LLC? That is the $1 million question, right? Now, what's interesting about this meme is Biden is proposing $15 an hour. $15 an hour is going to not only wipe out many of the American black businesses, but it's going to wipe out small business, right? Everyone was talking about, $15 an hour, $15 an hour. It is sinister, and we have told you before, everything that is done in the government has to do with American blacks. Everything, right? Now this one comes from Hosea Sanchez, right? Hosea Sanchez, right? And what does Hosea Sanchez write? Close it up a little bit. All right, this is what Hosea Sanchez writes. He says, black celebrities, restaurant, club, hookah, and strip club owners, etc., wake the F up. Stop leading your people to the slaughter at the hands of this virus to gain profit and service your ego. You are facilitating mass extinction in our community. This must stop, with the stop sign emoji. This must stop with the stop sign emoji. But then he has fine print. And he says, the audacity of some of y'all celebrities, influencers, and artists posting Black Lives Matter. Meanwhile, you're leading your people to the slaughter. Also, you can make a few bucks and hear people scream your name and praise you. Hashtag wake up. My only thought on this is, what do you expect the Black celebrities, the restaurant owners, the club owners, the hookah and strip club owners, etc., to do? Should they shutter their doors? Should they close up? And this Hosea Sanchez, see, this one thing I don't like. I don't like, you see, we feed a steady diet of hitting at the powers that be. We hit at the powers that be. We hit at the powers that be. Very seldom do we talk against our own. See, I don't like that. That's a form of self-hate. You should say all strip owners, but you said Black celebrities. There's white celebrities out there doing the same thing. White restaurant owners, club, hookah, and strip club owners, etc., that are opening up their club. We just showed you a meme a few weeks ago where they said it was virus-free lap dances. Now, how they could guarantee that it would be virus-free lap dancing at this particular white establishment that did stripping in close-in contact with women who are strippers on your lap, how they could determine that, you know, the bodily juices that are flowing from the down in the nether region that might pop in your eye or something would not cause did not cause the virus. We have to be very careful because they will clip you because they are, see, they clip because they heard the word cover. They heard it and they said clip, 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 clip. So we have to be careful. Look, Black celebrities, restaurant, club, hookah, and strip club owners, how about all of them? If you're going to mention, don't just single out your own Hosea Sanchez. Just my opinion, my observation on it. That is a form of self-hate. If you're not going at the white preachers, you're not going at the white owners of businesses, you're not going at them, then really you're suffering from a brand, a particular type of self-hate. Now here's another meme. You see there's penguins in the middle. Now what does the meme say? The meme says, two groups of penguins pass each other, stopping briefly to exchange information. Hey, what's up, Fred? Ralph? What's up, Fred? Hey, yeah, all of them talking amongst each other and say, okay, look, you're going that way, Fred? Yeah. Well, look out for the wolf that's down there hiding behind the corner. Make sure that you go and veer off to the left, and then, oh yeah, okay, Ralph. Well, look, you're planning on going this way? Yeah. Fred, you're planning on going this way? Yes, Ralph, I am. Well, just get ready because there's a mountain lion up there that just wants to munch our ass. Well, it's actually a polar bear because, you know, this isn't as white and snowy as it used to be because of global warming. But it's okay. And we will find food. You will find food in the little basin. It's still a little cool lake. Yes, you will too, Ralph. And so, thank you. And then they part ways. Even animals in the wild know how to stop and exchange information and heed information for survival. Animals, two groups of penguins pass each other, stopping briefly to exchange info about One is going down the hill, one is going up the hill. Fred and Ralph stop, they discuss, they converse, they say, this is what you will see, Fred, going down the hill. Okay, Ralph, this is what you'll see going up the hill. Stay safe, Fred. Yeah, you stay safe, Ralph. For some reason, when people are trying to disseminate information who have already been there, who have seen it, it appears that us as a group of people, American blacks, seem to want to say deuces. I'm going to go up here and figure this out for myself. And then you get yourself munched and ate and destroyed. And it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable in the end. You're like, wow, man, wow. You took that loss for no reason because we were trying to tell you. Now, remember on Friday we showed you the shaman, right? The shaman that was he had the horns and he had on the red, white, and blue face paint, and he looked like Conan the Barbarian, just thinner. And we told you that don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath that he and the others will get off. Did we not just say that? Do not hold your breath. Do not get upset. Right? And remember when this first happened, we said that those people who did that have to be put down and their children have to be reprogrammed. Right? Then later on TV, they started talking about deprogramming the people as a whole, all the people as a whole, right? Well, this just came down from our people at Hollywood Unlocked. That's right, this just came down from our people at Hollywood Unlocked. What does the meme say? Let me read it for you. It says, FBI and Justice Department considering not charging up to 800 Capitol thugs. Let's read that again. FBI and Justice Department considering not charging up to 800 Capitol thugs. The ones that stormed the Capitol. The ones that had their spray bottle, no doubt trying to spread the corona. The guys with the pipe bombs. The dude with the horns. The ones who sat in the wells of Congress and sat in the Senate seat. Those who were rummaging through papers, stealing shit. Because I told you they would be doing mea culpa. And they're probably telling them, if you say mea culpa and you say Donald Trump led you astray, like the shaman did. He's not a shaman. I don't know why I'm calling him that. But he sure did get his organic food to eat while locked down in the jail, though, right? But anyway, I digress on that. But we told you, do not get upset because this is part of the program. Do not hold your breath. Do not hold your breath on the police officer who choked George Floyd out with his neck, because he is going to get off. He's going to get off for some reason, some kind of technicality, whatever it is. He's going to get off. People are going to be upset. People are going to say, let's go march. And then the Antifa people, the anarchists, are going to put their Black Lives Matter back on the white ones, and they're going to get out there and they're going to say, what you know about justice? And they say that, and they're going to be going up to people while they're eating and still doing the same thing. And then the blacks thing is going to be co-opted again, so that the Antifa, what they're doing in Denver and Seattle, right? In Portland, in the upper West Coast, can spread down to the lower West Coast and spread across the country into choice cities where the people are going to be marching and so upset. We need justice. We need justice. But you let the Democrats get away with crunching Tim Scott's anti-choke bill that would have locked up cops that have shot up people, killed up people since George Floyd. Said, wait until Biden gets in. Well, guess what Biden is doing? Biden told the CBC and other, if you can call them black leaders, civil rights leaders, that he can't do anything because he has to stay by the Constitution. But he has signed 20-some executive orders that are questionable by the Constitution, but he's done it, and not one of them have to do with American blacks because you gave your vote for free. We kept telling you, please don't let us give our vote for free, because politics is the ask, the demand before the vote, and loyalty is not the vote. Loyalty is not in the vote. Loyalty is in, if the demand is met, then the vote will be a loyal vote. If the demand is met, you didn't ask for nothing. You just voted because you thought getting Satan out with Lucifer was going to change things, and it's the same demon. Getting a racist out with a white supremacist who has passed laws that are still in the books, that still harm, starting Generation X and all of the generations after, and some of the generations before that got caught up in the drug shit and other shit, weed shit. It's still on the books and it's still affecting us today, but you said, hey, I got my voting rights restored. Right? So we're sitting here looking at this, right? Which brings us to being that they clipped, oh yeah, I didn't tell you. They clipped our show from yesterday off of YouTube, right? Because of us covering 76 days, which is Wuhan. The Chinese government implemented a shutdown of Wuhan for 76 days to try to fight the virus that they had, right? And so why I say that is because we had the perfect definition of sheeple. Now on the show, we told you that when we say things, often, all of a sudden, the memes come up after. Now on hashtag Observation TFR, we've been talking about sheeple, right? We've been talking about sheeple and what the definition of sheeple is, right? We were talking about sheeple, and all of a sudden, a definition of sheeple shows up in the internet. And what is the definition of sheeple? At first, the person writes at the top of the meme, they get led astray and begin thinking outside of logic and reality. They get led astray and begin thinking outside of logic and reality. Sheeple, right, is a term in which people are likened to sheep, a herd animal. The term is used to describe those who voluntarily acquiesce to a suggestion without critical analysis or research. They voluntarily acquiesce to a suggestion without critical analysis or research. They undermine their own individuality and may willingly give up their rights and their life, right? What's going on to Rio West? I see that he's watching, right? So look, we've been talking about sheeple from sometimes. In the broadcast from last year, we used to have the meme up with the sheep, and it said, These are the people who are waiting on CNN to give them what they should be angry about next. Right. Right. So you got out there and you voted and you said, we got rid of racism. How can you get rid of racism when both of them were racist? One was Lucifer, one was Satan. You got Satan out, you put Lucifer in, and Lucifer is about to hit you with it. He's about to already hit you with it. Let's continue on. Let's do some distraction real quick. You know, the meme, using Bernie Sanders meme. I thought this was very creative. As you see, he's MMA. They gave him some MMM legs, and he's got his mittens, and he is getting ready to break his opponent's arm. Now, Bernie has never, ever, in actuality, ever really been like this. Not in actuality, not in real life. Because every time they cheated him, every time the Democrats cheated him, he's folded like a folding chair and going along with it, biding his time in the Senate. Now he has a chairmanship in the Senate, which we will talk about in the future. Now this next one, viewer discretion is advised on this next one. This for people who are curvy women holics. Please do not go get the lube right now. This will not be up long enough. We don't know. It may not be up long enough for you to whatever. But anyway, viewer discretion is advised at this point. Lunel decided to get the act. Yes, she did. Lunel, friend to the spot. You see her drops on hashtag TFR Podcast Live. She decided to get into the spot, and Bernie is sitting next to her as she shows her curvation. That's right. So that's not going to be up that long. I thought that was interesting. I mean, she's friends to the show. We wanted to bring that up to give her some shine, right? Moving right along. Now, what does this meme say? This is from Nina Turner, right? And Nina Turner is originally from Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I've interviewed Nina Turner. I know of Nina Turner. We've talked. It's always cordial every time we talk. I won't say I know her personally. Like, we never went in. And us as family go and get some drinks, not drinks, but go out to dinner or anything like that. But we have a cordial discussion every time we get together, and I have interviewed this woman. So let's read what Nina Turner, who is running for Congress, who is running for the seat, that, well, we won't talk about that. We've talked about that. Something I'm willing to wager is that if we had less millionaires in Congress, $2,000 checks would have already been out the door. We need more working class people that share our lived experience to run for office. We need more working class people that share our lived experience to run for office. The only problem with that is, most of the time, those everyday working class people, once they do get over to Washington, they're introduced to how to make that paper, how to make that guap. And sooner or later, they start to change up the program. Now, what's missing in what Nina Turner is talking about is she's talking about generalities about general politics, but she's not talking particularly about what is going on with American blacks in particular. And I think It's just my opinion, my observation that she has chosen the niche that she's going to run on and what she's going to be about. Because everyone knows when you go over to Washington, you cannot be about the upliftment of black people in actuality, right? Which brings us to Cat Williams, right? And what does this meme say? It says that one co-worker who thinks they are a manager. I'm sorry, but who the F are you again? Like, who the F are you again? Like, you know, that one coworker who thinks they are a manager. I'm sorry, but who the F are you again? Like, who? Who died and made you boss? Right? Okay. Let's keep moving here. Now, this is all plantation politics. All of this that we have been showing you are examples of plantation politics. And within the plantation politic, there is also distractions because we're coming into a world with people who are more focused on being transgender many times than they are at trying to bring about the resolution of American black problems. Now, this person is not black, right? But this is an example of a distraction. Transgender MMA fighter who broke female opponent's skull. Transgender MMA fighter who broke female opponent's skull. Are we getting to, quote, politically correct, unquote, with reality? Are we getting too politically correct with reality? In reality, it doesn't matter if the person changes over, gets the hormones, does the surgery, they will still be stronger than the average woman. They will still be stronger than the average woman. And why would you, unless you're trying to make a freak show? And you know, the freak show was called the freak show because the people who came to see the geeks are the freaks. The freaks come to watch the geeks. So the show was named after the freaks. And the freaks weren't the people in the show. The freaks were the people who came and watched. Are they trying to make this a spectacle? And if this is a spectacle, well, it should be the battle of the sexes and have the transgender woman go against men. Right? Like the battle of the sexes. The battle of the sexes, right? What you gonna say to that?
That's absolutely right, because unfortunately for them, despite the fact that you've gone through the change or whatever, you still have those attributes that are manly. And so that level of strength going against a female is automatically going to put you at an unfair advantage. And so, see, you still can't, if it was meant for you to change up that way, then everything could be changed. But since it's not that way, here we are. So how long are they going to allow that to go on before they say, that is a competition or a class that they're going to have to eliminate, because more people are going to be upset or more people are going to be hurt or die dealing with that. It's just stupid. It's common sense.
All right. So here's an announcement, right? Let me put this announcement up. It's always very important to honor our heroes, right? So this person right here is Ted Lumpkin Jr., a Tuskegee Airman, dies at age 100. A Tuskegee Airman dies at age 100. Now, my thing is, Tiny, look this up. Let's see. Ted Lumpkin Jr. Did he happen to take a COVID shot? This is what we need to know. Did he take a COVID shot, or did he die of natural causes? This is what we need to know real quick. We need to know, did he take a COVID shot? Did he take a COVID shot, or did he die of natural causes? Do you have it yet? Do they say
He
how
died.
he died? Okay.
Yes, it does. He died of complications of COVID.
See, here's a man, 100 years old, who was probably in still, good form because of being in shape for being a pilot. And this virus is taking you out. So in between the experimental agent and and this virus, men are being and women are being taken out. Now, being that they clipped us off of the show and we had really done this in nauseam, right? But we need to bring it back again. Okay. So on Friday we talked about, I said, well, they said that Hank Aaron had took the shot earlier in the year. I said, well, what's earlier in the year? Because it was the third week. Can you believe that we're in the fourth full week of January, and this is the last week of January, and we're going into February already? At this point, we're going to be saying June, July. We're going to be saying Merry Christmas before you know it. So let's go back. So I was like, wait a minute. So that's what we said. So it had to be like the first week of January, and then 2 weeks later, he died. So in this meme, Tariq Nasheed, I had both for the show on Sunday, but I do one here. He took the vaccine on January 6th. What's that say right here? He died January 22nd, 2021. That's 2 weeks. Now, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. It's like, but what we're looking at, here's a man who's healthy, who was probably looking into going into his 90s. He had played ball, if he had a little arthritis or some knee trouble, or maybe not. Maybe he was fit, and he thought he could take this and show the younger generations and the blacks that it's safe, to show the blacks that it's safe to take the blacks to take the vaccine. He takes it on the 6th. We need some kind of documentary on what was happening between the 6th and the 22nd that deteriorated his health to the point where he would die 2 weeks later. It's not
16 days.
It's not what it's what you can prove, but this man was relatively healthy. If he had some kind of heart condition, he wouldn't have taken that. I mean, he wouldn't have took it. He was healthy. He was healthy for all intents and purposes. Now, we're getting all this in before we get to the main topic of this morning's show, which is about plantation politics and Joe Biden, right? So look, this right here got our Sunday show, 144, blocked, which is banned, but it's blocked because we use trailers all the time, and we don't have them turned up. So that's usually they give you an opportunity to say, okay, explain to us, is this educational, etc., 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 etc. And then we could type in, and then they lift the band, right? This one was just banned out, no way to discuss it, because they are trying to keep you from seeing 76 days. 76 Days is the documentary that you need to see. It's based on January 23rd, right? January 23rd is now a year and 2 days a year ago. A year and 2 days a year ago. Yesterday we were doing a year and 1 day on the show, and they're clipping us, right? A year and 2 days ago, the People's Republic, the People's Communist Republic, the People's Republic of China Communist Party imposed a quarantine, a lockdown on Wuhan on January 23rd, 2020 to try to mitigate and stop the spread of the virus. This movie covers 4 hospitals in Wuhan, right? Now, while they're implementing this 76-day shutdown, China is not alerting anyone else, any other nations, that this is going on and it's something that they had to shut down the province of Wuhan, China, down for. They didn't alert it. The director, they were able to get footage coming in from out of China through email, and they were able to, he was editing up what he saw, and he was telling the story of what was happening in the hospitals. Once the hospitals locked down, they would have people stand in line to be admitted, right? The director said that when he got back to New York from China, from visiting people just before the Wuhan situation and the spread and the beginning of the spread of this virus, he said that New York, he's living in New York, he's getting the footage from Wuhan, and New York is going through the same exact situations in the hospitals and on the streets that Wuhan province was going through. The same exact thing. So if you want to know exactly how bad it is in the hospitals, like out here in Las Vegas, the hospitals are filled to capacity out here in Las Vegas, right? While people are still trying to go out to lunch, breakfast, and dinner, still going in, taking in restaurants, etc., etc., etc. This is filled to capacity, right? You want to know what it is like inside of the hospitals, get this documentary, and this is how you can watch this documentary. You go to Google, you type in 76 days, I'm just going to cut to the chase, space watch, click search, it'll come up 76 days dash watch. You click it, you choose which theater that you want to pay for. It gives the credit to the theater that you want to watch it from. They get the credit and the money. You know how money is divided up, but this is a business. And watch this documentary. It is subtitled, but hey, you like Kung Fu flicks, right? So it's subtitled, but it is so riveting that you forget that you are reading subtitles. They locked all this, so we're saying it again without the video. So if they lock it this time and say that it is copywritten material, it is because they are definitely blocking. They are definitely blocking. They are definitely blocking. You have to see this documentary to see how serious it really is in the hospitals. Now, during Vietnam, when the cameras were filming, the news crews were filming, it was coming in unadulterated to the American people. The government decided then, along with the news stations, that the unfettered, unadulterated truth would not be given to the American people again, because once they saw the napalm dropping and little kids running on fire and seeing what was happening to enemy combatants or the innocent mixed in, the people didn't know who were the innocent Vietnamese and who were the Viet Cong, so they just shot them all up. And you were seeing this, and that caused the American people to galvanize and say they hated this war and they wanted the people to come home. And then it led into them hating the soldiers as well, right? So they said, we will not bring unfeathered access to people, so it will have to be shaped. So they started to put talking heads into place, and you get more opinion than you get actual fact in news media programs on television today. Now you can go check this, and this is true indeed. So if you want to know what's actually going on in the hospitals, because they're not telling you, they have a little expose, but they won't show you what's actually happening. This will show you what's happening, and like the director said, when it picks up in different places, just like he said, he's watching the Wuhan footage, and New York was going through the exact same thing when the first wave came through. Learning how to protect yourself from the virus, they learned how to do all that. They show you that in this film. You have to see 76 Days. It is an eye-opener, and it also shows you that maybe they really just don't care about us too much. All I really got to say is they don't really care about us.
I was thinking that.
All I want to say is they don't really want to care about us. Which brings us to our topic of today, which is plantation politics. Everything that we showed you on all those memes are the plantation politics that we are in. Smash the share button, smash the like button, because we are getting ready to get to it. Do you have something to say before we get into this track?
I mean, that part of your guys' show last night really bothered me, because we've been knowing that there's censorship taking place and stuff like that. And that's just another excuse. They put that in place saying that is copyright. Well, you wasn't playing the movie. I think that there should be some kind of amendment to that, because you weren't playing the movie and showing the movie on the show, which would have been pirating and bootlegging. What you were doing was giving the people, letting the people know what it is that they could go, how they could go see the film. You were explaining, you were running it in the background. It was more like a trailer that was running in the background, because it was turned so low that you couldn't really hear anything because you guys were talking over it. So these attempts at censorship, wherever they can get it in, is really, it should tell you something. It should tell you how, the first thing it should tell you or peak with you is, why is it that they don't want me to know this? And maybe I think I'll spend some time, instead of watching Love and Hip Hop and all of that stuff, I think I might take some time and go on YouTube and find some people that are unconventional, that bring the news, that have some good feedback, where people say, you get stars and ratings on those too on YouTube and stuff like that. Spend your time developing and gathering information, because baby, it's gonna come a time if you trying to figure out how to get health care and how to get food. I doubt very seriously if you're gonna still be on Love and Hip Hop. I doubt that you're gonna care what those people are doing. They're not gonna care. They're gonna be trying to survive too. But guess what? Because of all of your watching, they got the money to do what they need to do. Where yours gonna be at?
I'm not gonna knock Love and Hip Hop. I would say the Housewives of Orange County, white. The Housewives of New Jersey, white.
See, for me, any of them.
They're acting totally ratchet and destructive. The Housewives of Dallas. I mean, they act totally ratchet and out there too. And part of being seen as human is being able to do partly some of the same things, but at the same time, in a society that is about degradation and destruction, why would you want to? But if you're there, if that's happening, and that is a way for, because they put the whites on first, but then they found out that the blacks brought more money than the whites, because the whites are boring. Because the whites don't have, my opinion, my observations, they don't have the rhythm, and they don't look like much, in my opinion, once they get older. Not like they look like anything when they were younger. So when I hear that, I'm going to say Orange County, I'm going to say New Jersey, I'm going to say any of the ones that's white. They should not be doing that ratchetness on there. They're bringing the white race down. And they should really get back into their Bible, because obviously they are a bunch of sinners. If we're going to be talking about that, you know what I mean? So, that's my take on it. I don't knock, because they got to get theirs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to get their money somehow. And if people are watching programming, now what I would criticize Love and Hip Hop about is just like Gossip, just like The Root, just like Griot. These are not owned by American blacks, and the people who produce it, the Mona Scotts, etc., are not American black, but they use American blacks to be entertainment. But then they have other Haitians and Jamaicans mixed in, and there's the blood boil and the mix that makes the conflict. So if I want to blame anybody, I'm going to blame Mona Scott, who is not an American black, but is perpetuating a certain image of American blacks to make money, while she pays them a stipend of $500 a show. So they're not really making money. She's making all the money. And hopefully if they get popular enough on the show, they can revive their career or sell a product to make money, like a lot of the Vanderpumps, who left the show because she had a restaurant and she had her own line of things. And then what's that, skinny girl came from off of one of the housewives, the white housewives. When I look at it, I'm going to down, if I'm going to down, I'm going to down everything that's ratchet. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Arab. I'm not going to focus on my own, because my own is only doing what's necessary to make it in how the society is set up. The society is set up this way, so that's how they're programmed to make it. If they are in the entertainment business, there is no insurance. There is no guaranteed money. If you get short, you sell your publishing away, and then you're stuck. Look, Lil Wayne sold his publishing for what? 10 million? That seems little for that catalog. What you gotta say?
I understand totally the validity of your point, but let me be clear to expand out. When I use love and hip hop as because that's what would be common to me. Why? Because on Facebook you have when you go into the Facebook Live shows that they show on Facebook, love and hip hop, they're everywhere. But let me say that when I use love and hip hop, it is a blanket terminology for all of that, whether it be white, black, I don't care. If there's Arab, Puerto Rican shows like that, I don't care. All of it has a degradation or a mindset that has people, it's not well thought out. This is the reason why people are fighting all the time. They don't think things out. They don't talk things through. It's highly ignorant. And so it doesn't matter which people that it's coming from, it's all ignorant. So when I use love and hip hop, however you can apply that, I'm not just singling out my people. I'm talking about anything that's ignorant. Anything that's ignorant. Anything where you got people, infidelity, all it is infidelity and competition and fighting and cat fighting and lying and all of that stuff. That's all out of order, and it's all speaking to a mentality that lacks spirituality, that lacks God. So for me, that would be my point of contention here.
So these damn white devils need to get back into the church and quit making this programming that makes other people say, hey, we could do it too, because we can be wretched too. Instead of they trying to clip instead of up and outstanding, right? So look, I'm gonna show you this right here. This is a conversation that I had, right? So the person
turn it. Okay.
There we go. So the person, oldest language is DJLB, says Joe Biden just signed an executive order to strengthen American manufacturing. Don't go to sleep on this cat. Still nothing for the black agenda or advancement. Oh, the complaining is starting. So then I had to chime in. Because all last year we were warning people. We said, hey, this is going to be happening because we know this guy, because he wrote laws that are still in the books that are still affecting, started Generation X, some generations before, but all the generations after, and more black men and black women have been locked up 100 to 1. Weed laws, all that because of these laws that he did. He was a segregationist. He is a white supremacist. We said that. You voted for, you had a racist in office. You voted for a white supremacist. Everybody is, they're clipping. Everybody is laughing and smiling and doing the Dougie and doing the line dances. Move it in, move it out. We got the racists out. But then you put the man who actually damaged your people in. Disco lady. Come on.
No, but you know what somebody told me?
Go ahead.
What somebody told me is that he realized he had made a mistake for those laws, and he was starting to make amends.
I don't know that to be true because he said he wasn't going to apologize. So which one is it? People are putting their fictitious thought on, what would I do? Most people don't give up, right? And he's a politician, so he doesn't give up. Okay, we'll get to that in a second because we got to go through the paces of this, right? Let me clip over to who we're talking about now, right? We're talking about Joe Biden now, right? But so this I opened up the conversation, so I had to respond back to DJ LV, right? I read his posts, and I have a lot of respect for dude. He has a lot of good points, right? And so I said this. I said, did you vote for him? And DJ LV responded. He said, Crayzon. See if I can bring it closer, bring it back, and then bring it closer so it focuses. Yeah, my first time voting, and that's why I'm speaking up so loud, because the mother effer got my vote he better do something. Right? Now I'm going to read the rest. I give you context with photo. Now I'm going to read the rest. He better do something. So I told him, I said, funny thing about politicians and politics. The demand comes before the vote. 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 Before the vote. Now, as he's doing, he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to do anything for American blacks because the vote was given for free. He doesn't have to do anything for American blacks because the vote was given for free. Now let's pause right there for a minute before I read the rest. We have to consider our vote like our labor. The white man who enslaved didn't have to do anything because he had the labor for free. So he wasn't going to do anything to make your living condition better because he had your labor for free. Our vote is like our labor. Our vote is not our loyalty to someone. Our vote is like our labor. If we want better conditions for our labor, then the demands have to be put out there in the front before they get the free labor. And what is the free labor? Standing in line, long lines to vote. Let's continue on. Now, as he's doing, he doesn't have to do anything for American blacks because the vote was given for free. Like voting Satan out while electing Lucifer was going to be any better for black people. Some of us tried to warn against Biden. Many didn't listen. Now the complaining starts while every other group gets what they need. We're going to come back to that conversation in a minute, which brings us to Biden. Do you have that article up? This came from the AP yesterday. So you have to cut off of the talking heads and you have to read articles. Now, this came from the AP. It reads, Mexican leader says Biden offers $4 billion for Central America. $4 billion. You have to start thinking about that money as the money that could go towards our reparations. If they could easily give $4 billion to Honduras and El Salvador, oh, they're clipping us right now, then they could easily be up there to make American black people whole. These are people who are not even American citizens. This guy is practicing benign neglect. Benign neglect, right? So let me go on with what DJ LV said next. He said, Crayzon, if you look back in my earlier post, I told everybody about him and Kamala. Also, I only voted for his punk ass because everybody damn near begged me to because they needed the ex-felons vote. I don't give a damn what he do, as you know. I got my own show going, so he can't only give to me. You're right. I don't know why the people putting their hope in the lesser of two evils when it's the same system. Right. So let that thought sink in for a minute. Same system. So I wrote back. I said, you may have voted for the American black demise, listening to those begging for restored voters vote. See, I don't call them ex-felons. I call it restored voters vote. Restored voters. So you have to coin a phrase in your phraseology and move forward with it to take, because people have paid their debt, so thus they are restored voters, not ex-felons having their voting rights restored. No, they're restored voters. Biden wasn't and isn't nothing nice for American blacks, and he's proving it now again. Benign neglect is the term. I can't do for American blacks, Biden will say, but somehow I can do for everyone else. Benign neglect. So LV wrote back, absolutely. But my vote didn't decide America's demise. America's demise has been on the forefront for many decades. It's just coming to pass right now. Can't nobody and nothing save her. Okay. I've heard that viewpoint of, so let's extrapolate out a little bit. Let's extrapolate out. Let's extrapolate out. If America falls, that's a anarchist. I mean, he may not know, but looking at it, and we broke down what anarchist acceleration is, all that is. That is a anarchist argument. It's not really framed up in the way that an anarchist would do it, but it's influenced from different media. It's influenced. If the state falls, where are American blacks going? I'm going to ask again. The phone lines are now open. 213 943-3358. I need to know the Biden supporters or people who believe, people that back the Africa movement. I mean, I need to hear from you. You know, you've been kind of neglectful on calling in because we don't allow you to talk your talking points because we're trying to have a dialogue and a discussion. So you get to talking that diatribe, we're going to stop you. Okay? 213-943-3358. Hey, the accelerationists, the ones that stormed the Capitol, we need to hear from you too. You know, call in 213-943-3358. Look, where are, and you can also comment in the comments on on YouTube and on where you're seeing us, the different outlets where you're seeing us. Where are American blacks going if America falls? See, I'm an American black man. I don't want America to fall because we've been fighting to take our rightful place, to take America forward. We're not talking about having America fall. What are you going to do? America falls. Look, can you stop an invading horde like the one that surged the Capitol back on the 6th? The same day that Hank Aaron, I guess the news media, the news was cut with the surge. The same day that Hank Aaron took the ultimate, in my opinion, death shot was the same day that the Capitol was sieged upon by an invading horde. "22 days later, Hank Aaron is dead, and the people who were the invading hordes are able to talk mea culpa, and now the feds and the DOJ are talking about they don't want to prosecute nearly 800. That is death, right? That means that those people, they get off, they have the knowledge that they can get away with anything, and guess who they are turning their sights on? My vote did not cause the demise of America, but your vote may have caused the demise of black people.
And they don't want to hear that.
The demise of black people. The demise of black people. Now, this is all opinion and observation of just going through years looking at it, right? Biden has never been a friend to American black people. He is a segregationist. We told you on episodes to know what type of racist you're dealing with. There are several, more than 7, most likely just a little less than 100. It's like churches, different degrees and different breakups of different ideologies put together to make up the different ones. Where are American blacks going? 213-943-3358. If the state falls, this is what the anarchists want. This is what the accelerationists want. Where are we going? The fall of America. I don't want to see America fall. I don't know Africa. I don't know Jamaica. I mean, it'd be a nice place to visit. Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago, there might be nice places to visit, nice sun, going to different beaches and things, but you want to come back home to home base, right? Japan might be nice, China might be nice, Hawaii might be nice. Hawaii is part of America, but it wouldn't feel the same, right?
Right.
Plus, if it falls, the laws are set into place so there won't be discrimination against a certain dark-skinned people. The state falls, all of that goes away. Are you ready? Where is your army, black man? Where is your army, black woman? If you're talking about, it's all right for the state to fall, the demise of America. So let's look at Biden real quick. Biden is practicing benign neglect. Now, we told you about benign neglect on previous shows last year. You have to go back, search through, scrub through. We are on TuneIn, we are on Google Podcasts, and we are on Stitcher. That's right. The Spot Podcast. Hashtag you found the spot. You go there, you're able to listen to our earlier future episodes, the foundation episodes 1 through 20, and it's 20 through 40, and it goes up from there. And within there, you will get a cross section and information of what you need to know. Biden. Let's start a little bit of that article from the AP Associated Press. You have to begin to read other outlets and listen to other outlets other than the talking heads, because they have been put in place since Vietnam to make sure that you don't get the straight dope, the uncut raw. So, go ahead.
All right. President Joe Biden's first calls to foreign leaders went to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador at a strained moment for the U.S. relationship with its North American neighbors. Mexico's president said Saturday that Biden told him the U.S. would send $4 billion to help development in Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, nations whose hardships have spawned tides of migration through Mexico toward the United States. Lopez Obrador, who spoke Friday with Biden by phone, said the two discussed immigration and the need to address the root causes of why people migrate. Mexico has stopped recent attempts by caravans of Central American migrants to cross Mexico. Biden's call to Trudeau, also on Friday, came after the Canadian Prime Minister this week publicly expressed disappointment over Biden's decision to issue an executive order halting construction of the Keystone XL oil pipeline.
Okay, let's stop right there. We'll pick that up. Okay, so let's go back to the Mexican president for a minute. Okay. This isn't making America stronger. America is back to handing out money. Handing out money to who? To the World Health Organization. Handing out money to the Paris Accords. Handing out money to the Iranians. Handing out money now to Central American countries for them to rebuild. How's that making America stronger when America is in deficits and we need to rebuild our infrastructure? You have been, I'm going to just say we because we're all in it together. We have been duped and played. I didn't vote for either one of them, but we have been, those who definitely voted for Biden have been duped and played, because all the man said was make America great again. He was a builder. He wanted to rebuild. They want to make sure that he cannot get back into office with this impeachment, and the Republicans are going to go along with it because they really don't care. The man who cared, y'all think y'all voted him out, but anyway, they cheated it. But anyway, that's another thing. You thought you voted him out, and that's another reason why they're not giving you anything, because you didn't do anything. You really didn't, right? So you didn't demand anything. They're talking about pumping money out. You have to start thinking that's your money being pumped out. You do not give your labor without getting paid. Your vote is like your labor. The slave master didn't have to do anything for you, make living conditions better, etc., because he already had your labor for free. Biden doesn't have to do anything for you because he and Harris, for symbolism reasons, only got your vote, and they don't have to do anything for American blacks. And this shows you that Biden doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He cuts the Keystone Pipeline, cutting 10,000 jobs on our side of the border, 1,000 jobs on Trudeau's side of the border, Canada side, 1,000 jobs over there. Didn't have wind and solar set up so that those workers could be retrained instantly and start to set this into place. Should have waited until he had that set up. People are going to be unemployed. America is dishing out money all around the world. Now they want to dish out money to the Central American countries. Why? Because Biden opened his mouth during the debates and during the campaigning season, and now these migrants are pressing towards the border. And now he's trying to find a way. If I get $4 billion, if I just get $4 billion, that'll take care of the problem of my mouth leaking, and that'll take care of the problem. But it takes a long while to implement $4 billion when you haven't set up the fucking structure to make it work. You're just giving money to people who are going to pocket the money, and it's going to be America out of it. Then it's going to start a war because we gave you $4 billion. And you didn't do what you were supposed to do with it because America didn't set up the infrastructure for it to work. You can't just give $4 billion willy-nilly. Who you giving it to? That shows you that he doesn't know what he's doing. 213-943-3358. Can the people who voted for him, can you call up? Can you call up? Can you say, Tracy Trace says, what you are talking about, Willis? You mean I was supposed to ask for something for my vote? Then she says, they were clueless. Right. So look, he doesn't know what he's doing, and now he's trying to throw money at the problem. Meanwhile, that's your money. That's your money. But
you know what, though?
But America is broke, but they're able to send your money all across the world, but they're not going to do anything for American blacks because they got to use the money that they would do reparations with and send it around the world to other places because this dude is bumbling already.
You know, I was having a conversation with somebody about him, and you know, the more, you know how you talk to some people, the more you talk to them, the dumber you get. It's like you start asking yourself, why am I talking to you? So the conversation was that, you know, we didn't ask for anything. We didn't demand anything for our vote. And where's our reparations at? The talks went away completely. And the person said, well, that wasn't going to happen no way. So I'm thinking I had to pause and try to reformulate a reasoning in my mind. So your defense of him is just as long as it's him instead of Trump, and reparations wasn't going to happen no way. So I'm just at that point, I said, okay. I just let the conversation drop. I didn't continue with it anymore because it was plain to see that there was going to be no reasoning because that person was void of sound logic. When you realize that you're speaking to somebody who is void of logic, don't even do it to yourself because you're going to sit up there and it's going to be like you talking to the wall. Like you can get up and go stand to that wall over here to the right of me and just stand there and talk to it. You'll get a better response. So I'm learning. This is really helping me. This time right here is really helping me how not to leave the deer and chase the rabbit, and how not to enter into things where there are no spoils, and how not to waste my time on conversations with people who are never going to get it.
Never going to get it. Now, that statement that you spoke of where he said that wasn't going to happen anyway, that's because of the fact that he has no sense of, or has no sense of history. If you knew how Jewish people got it, if you knew how other people got reparations, if you knew how the Japanese got it, if you knew how all the people who were harmed, if you knew how the natives got it, if you had an understanding of his story and how our story is within it, and really his story is actually our story, then you would say, well, it is our turn, and yes, we will have reparations then, now, and in the future. But when you are ignorant to history, those are the only people who say, oh, that wasn't going to happen anyway, because they don't know. They don't know history. They don't know how government is supposed to work for its citizens. Here it is, people. In the Constitution, we're considered 3/5 of a human being. The amendments only gave us rights to be citizens of the United States of America Corporation. Right? It did not give you full human rights. That is something that has to be changed on the paper, because Europeans deal with the written word. What's on the written word is what they deal with. Unfortunate. So we're still 3/5 in the Constitution. The written word about citizenship gave you citizenship to make you a citizen of the country you're in, but that is it. So if we want to be made whole, there are certain things that have to be done. We have to get that amended in the Constitution, and we have to stop them from, because of bumbling dudes, in my opinion, like Biden, who was talking. Now he wants to think that 4 billion can solve the problem. Now, on the other end, remember, Trump had a pretty good partnership going between Canada and Mexico. Mexico was upholding its end, stopping the people trying to get into the border with their own military. America didn't have to expand. Only the people who were on the opposite side, some people got them, mules got them over, and then they had to catch them on the American side of the border. But other than that, Mexico was holding it down. Now, Trudeau is mad over those 1,000 jobs. What kind of concessions is he giving Canada over so many years? It's going to come out later. How many over so many years for those 1,000 jobs? And this is what he's going to, what kind of money he's going to give from America to subside the angst from Trudeau. So let's keep reading.
It says, the long disputed project was projected to carry some 800,000 barrels of oil a day from the tar sands of Alberta to the Texas Gulf Coast, passing through Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Biden told Trudeau that by issuing the order, he was following through on a campaign pledge to stop construction of the pipeline, a senior Canadian government official told the Associated Press. The official spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the private conversation. The White House said in a statement that Biden acknowledged Trudeau's disappointment with his Keystone decision. Biden's call with Lopez Obrador also came at a tense moment, days after the Mexican president accused the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration of fabricating drug trafficking charges against the country's former defense secretary. While Mexico continues to pledge to block mass movements of Central American migrants towards the U.S. border, there has been no shortage of potential flashpoints between the two countries. Mexico demanded the return of former Defense Secretary General Salvador Cienfuegos after he was arrested in Los Angeles in October, threatening to restrict U.S. agents in Mexico if he wasn't returned. U.S. prosecutors agreed to drop charges and return Cienfuegos to Mexico. But Mexico passed a law restricting foreign agents and removing their immunity anyway, and went on to publish the U.S. case file against Cienfuegos, whom Mexican prosecutors quickly cleared of any charges. Lopez Obrador and a statement Friday and the conversation with Biden was friendly and respectful. The White House and Biden mentioned reversing the previous administration's draconian immigration policies. Trudeau told reporters before the call on Friday that he wouldn't allow his differences with Biden over the project to become a source of tension in the U.S.-Canada relationship. It's not always going to be perfect alignment with the United States, Trudeau said. That's the case with any given president, but we're in a situation where we are much more aligned on values and focus. I am very much looking forward to working with President Biden. Biden signed an executive order to halt construction of the pipeline just hours after he was sworn in. Leaving the Keystone pipeline permit in place would not be consistent with my administration's economic and climate imperatives, Biden's executive order said. Critics say the growing operations increase greenhouse gas emissions and threaten Alberta's rivers and forests. On the U.S. side, environmentalists expressed concerns about the pipeline. It would cross the Ogallala Aquifer, but proponents of the project said it would create thousands of jobs on both sides of the border. The project was proposed in 2008, and the pipeline has become emblematic of the tensions between economic development and curbing the fossil fuel emissions that are causing climate change. The Obama administration rejected it, but President Trump revived it and was a strong supporter. Construction already started. Biden and Trudeau also discussed the prospects of Canada being supplied with the COVID-19 vaccine from pharmaceutical giant Pfizer facility in Kalamazoo, Michigan, according to a second senior Canadian government official who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe a private conversation. Canada has been getting all its Pfizer doses from a Pfizer facility in Perth, Belgium, but Pfizer has informed Canada it won't get any doses next week and will get 50% less than expected over the next 3 weeks. Ontario Premier Doug...
Pause for a minute. How is he going to offer Canada anything when the news media has been saying that there's a shortage of the shots? Is this you know how things already happen and then you get the report on them afterwards? Mm-hmm. Is it that those shots were already shipped to Canada and this is why there is a shortage in America? Could this be the appeasement for the pipeline? You can see that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. You can see he came out of school with a 1.98 college grade point average.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
Does that mean anything? Yes, it does. Right, yes. Yeah, unfortunate. It really does mean something. It means something. You can make your own schedule in college. You could take the classes as you want to take them and get them and prepare your schedule, and then you're supposed to be able to get A's in college when you go. But as my sister reported last week, he was a super jock. He was good Football. But this is who we voted for. Some of the people who were restored voters, got their rights restored voters, voted because they were begged to vote for this guy, have unintentionally voted for the demise of American black people. Because where America demises, so will American blacks, because we are connected at the hip to America. So continue on. This is crazy. It's real crazy. You can see he doesn't know what he's doing.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford has publicly asked Biden to share 1 million doses made at Pfizer's Michigan facility. The U.S. federal government has an agreement with Pfizer in which the first 100 million doses of the vaccine produced in the U.S. will be owned by the U.S. government and will be distributed in the U.S. Anita Anand, the Canadian federal procurement minister, has said the doses that are emerging from the Michigan plant are for distribution in the United States. The two leaders also spoke broadly about trade, defense, and climate issues. Trudeau also raised the cases of 2 Canadians imprisoned in China in apparent retaliation for the arrest of a top Huawei executive who was apprehended in Canada on a U.S. extradition request, according to the Prime Minister's office. Gillies reported from Toronto and Stevenson from Mexico City. That's the end of the article.
Isn't that something, right? So let's look at it. Biden puts a ban on South Africa. Biden puts a ban. They don't like me saying Biden. Biden put a ban on South Africa, the UK, and Brazil. And what's interesting about the UK, South Africa, and Brazil? The numbers of Caucasians are dwindling in the UK. In the United Kingdom, there are a lot of more blacks from Africa coming in and from Jamaica coming into those areas. There's a population shift that's getting ready to happen. So when they killed UK, they was really killing United Kingdom because the actors are coming over from United Kingdom and all the different various people. So really we're talking about Britain and stopping the British, right? Brazil, what is interesting about Brazil? Mostly African derived ancestry. And South Africa, well, of course, it's right there. It's in Africa, right? He's banning these places, but he's not banning China. Is this not xenophobia? You know, when Trump banned China, they automatically said xenophobia. What is xenophobia, Tonya? Like the people, they throw the term out there, xenophobia, but they don't usually give you the definition of what a xenophobe is. So we're going to give you the definition of what xenophobia is. What is xenophobia? Do you have it?
A dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries.
A dislike or prejudice against different people from another people from a different country. Well, this seems like xenophobia to me. Like they were calling Trump a xenophobe, and they called him a xenophobe, but really it didn't match up to what it was supposed to mean. But What's good for the goose is good for the gander. South Africa, UK, and Brazil, no China. All of this is truly xenophobia. It is truly xenophobia. He has a fear of these dark-skinned people coming over and bringing the virus to the United States, right? You see? So this, I mean, he doesn't know what he's doing, and this is going to pan out. This is going to show you that he doesn't know what he's doing. You're supposed to have stuff set up, structured, organized before you hand money. You're supposed to have things structured, set up, and organized before you eliminate certain businesses like that pipeline. You should have had something else in place to help both sides of the border. So these little secret agreements where money is going to be leaving, you have to start thinking of that as your reparation money. And that's why they're not going to do anything for you, because that money is set aside for the reparations. That's why they're doing it. They're giving it to other people. So they say, we can practice benign neglect with the Negroes. What you got to say?
I was sitting here thinking about, just in my experience of the people that oppose a lot of my views and what their life state is. I see, this is what I see. This is my experience. The people that tend to oppose our views concerning reparations, when we bring up reparations, tend to be people who are doing fairly comfortable in life. They're fairly comfortable. They're Black people who, they may have gone to school and got their degrees or whatever, but they're in a position in life where they're real comfortable. And so for them, the concept of reparations is not so immediate in their minds, because they're doing all right. But, there's a type of ignorance attached to that, because not all people who are fighting for reparations are not doing well. I mean, there are people fighting for reparations who are doing quite well, and their education makes them know that we deserve to have those. That's our back pay, basically. Our back pay for all the stuff that was built on our backs at 95%, all of our intellectual property, all of the patents you stole, all of those things that you stole, all of that, that's back pay. That is the least you could do, right? And so it's not everybody that because I'm just thinking, my wheels are turning, and I'm thinking these people probably have it in their minds that those of us who are pushing for reparations may not be doing as well as they are. And that's kind of a bold statement. That's a bold and erroneous speculation. But I'm just thinking of a few people that I've encountered here recently. They're doing quite well. They seem to be, they're happy with their lot. They're happy with what they have. They're content with their lives financially and all of that stuff. So I'm thinking that this is where they're at, but see, what happens is that was the whole thing. You were allowed to have what you have. You were allowed to get through. You were allowed to have that so that there could be a divide, in how we think and how we would approach a situation. And that's the sad part. It's a divide and conquer. It continues to happen. It's layer upon layer, and to look at it and say, oh, I'm just going to forego this. I'm doing good over here. Y'all can fight that battle, but I'm doing good over here. I'm not going to rock the boat. Well, some of us ain't called to rock the boat. Some of us are called to capsize the boat, because the stuff is out of hand. And you're going to sit there and look at it. And what do you think? What kind of respect level do you think that you're getting from the people that you don't want to rock the boat with? They're like, oh, you're just, they pat you on the head, toss you a few snacks, a few treats, and you're good to go. But we have to say, every time these people every time I see an article that says we offering anybody else anything, I don't care if it's $10,000. That's all money that could have went towards our reparations. While you're offering, y'all don't get the point. The point is, while they offer you nothing, while it's like them giving away all your stuff and looking at you and going, they're clowning you while you watching them do it, and they're mocking you. Every time to see that they offered anybody $4 billion, every time you see a headline like that, that is a mockery of you. But yet you will argue with me. You will go into a keyboard and screen war against me on the internet, on Facebook. You'll go into real big and boisterous behind the keyboard. But you're not saying nothing to them for mocking you. But you challenging me. I had somebody ask me, I posted a meme of that meme that's out with Kamala Harris walking arm in arm with Barack Obama, and she says she's asking him, do you think the people are going to be mad that are going to be real mad that I didn't do anything for them, black people? And he said, I didn't do S for black people, and they still love me. And somebody asked me, really, why did you post this? I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to. This is my wall. This is my timeline. I'm not going to answer why I posted it because I wanted to post it. You can answer that question yourself. Well, why do you post what you post on your wall? Because you want to post it. I'm not going to answer nobody that's trying to lead me into you bringing a knife to a gunfight and trying to lead me into a fight. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to answer you why I posted this because you're going to try to lead into some leading to say that my ideal is deficient. I really don't care what you say. I posted it because I wanted to post it. And I can go into a whole novel, but it would take me 3 days to post on Facebook. It probably would run out of space, keystroke space, to give you an answer. And then you're not going to read it because your attention span is not that long. Don't ask me that. Don't come on my wall and ask me why I posted something because you didn't got in your feelings. Because you think I'm talking straight to you. You would have done better not to say nothing. Now you didn't tell me who you were. You told me you went and voted and wasn't going to ask for nothing for your vote. You told me. You told me you upset now that we posting things on there that's making a mockery of you. Now you upset and in your feelings. Get out of here. I'm not going to answer you why I posted something. Are you out of your mind?
Plantation politics. Miscellaneous Mondays. Plantation politics. Observations. Episode 83. Hashtag you found the spot. This is the plantation politics that we're in. We started with A.G. Cameron. And we conclude with Joe Biden. Right? Black people, if there's one thing that we could say, American black people in particular, moving a racist out and putting a white supremacist in, you're getting the same thing, but you're getting one that was in government who knows how it worked and did things that harmed you. You didn't ask for anything, so then you didn't get anything, and you won't get anything because that's how politics works. Everyone else who asked, who voted, will get, but you won't get. Thank you, American black people. We appreciate you. So look, this has been a robust Monday, Miscellaneous Mondays. Plantation politics was the topic of this. Tomorrow is Tasty Tuesdays, right? Vegan recipes. Wednesday is Stock Wednesday. Thursday is Truth Thursdays. And Friday is Freak Skin Friday, where we look at it with a little humor on what happened during the week, right? So tune in. We come on at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Observations, observations TFR, right? We are heard on TuneIn. We're heard on TuneIn. They keep clipping me. We're heard on TuneIn. We're heard on Google Podcasts. And we're heard on, what's the other? Stitcher. All the links are right on the You Found the Spot page. Make sure you go there. Make sure that you click and binge listen. Listen to episode 23 of Observations, where we talk about A.G. Cameron and his flawed phraseology. Link to that also in the You Found the Spot group page on FB, right? So look, we appreciate coming to you. We appreciate you watching us Monday through Friday. We appreciate you. And without further ado of closing, we will see you tomorrow on another great episode of Observations TFR.
Here's the thing about Germany, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart.
Observations TFR, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday.